Perhaps deserts too were once green and drenched in oceans that breathed cool air until they refused to walk through the waters with their hands and mouths open to drink. And when these thoughts successfully befriended my mind, sanctity in my joy was ripped, took the keys to the doors of my pride and locked me out of the cells. In despair's embrace I wandered, lost in the depths where hope and solace dwells. Bound by the chains of bravery stings, my spirit yearns to break free from its oppressive spells. But it isn't an offense to confess what first fends your dignity. I do because they must recompense me. I could not fit in any longer. I was a square whose angles were never equal, and they were triangles that didn't care if I had rights, yet still referred to themselves as the right-angled ones, whose hypotenuse was rather the square root of the squares of my miseries plus my imprisonments, rather than being the opposite of whatever forgery that leaned adjacent to their arrogantly intolerant bodies. If my poetic fluidity should ever slip me off from the strong, smooth arms of this world into another world, let's just say a place above the skies where angels bow and serve humans, without how I would choose to call it Africa. Not just because it is a land full of wonders with beauty that is hard to manufacture, from the dunes of the Sahara to the mighty rivers that rapture. Her essence is a treasure I forever seek to capture. Her diversity, a tapestry of cultures. It's impossible to puncture, and for her prosperity I can't enrapture. And when I'm ever asked to say my name, I will instead choose to describe myself, for the mere wording of my name will not give you a glimpse of how I was alive in the chasms of slavery before I was birthed. In that world, I ate from a bowl that was often filled with roasted whippings of disgrace, cooked from the pots of imprisonments and dehumanization. I bathed in the pool of my own blood and tears, and I was rich but poor. I slept with my eyes open because I could not even afford a dream. I guess that was the hopeless reality from which my hopeful tranquility evolved. To the east of my star lies pyramids that point to the light of civilization. Sparkling golds and diamonds roll from the center to the west to drown in the oils that gush joyously from the north towards the south. After freedom, we dance. And from my movements, unless you do not own eyes, you will see glory. A Kilimanjaro whose peaks kiss the clouds to make way for our dreams to touch heavens. My languages tell all my stories. So when my mom said, Tuku Divi, we won't be disappointed, I saw a resilience wrapped around a glorified experience evaporate serenely from her skin, a heavenly black cocktail that resonates with pride, imbued with the beauty of how the savannah stretches under the sun's relentless gaze in a haze. Dear eyes, I want you to see all 54 flags as one. Dear ears, you have heard me speak of myself as an African, so dear mouth, do not apologize for how your accents defines your roots. It simply reminds you that we do not cross borders to see the relics of our ancestral molded status. Dear hands, I know you love to write poetry, but for this oath, I beseech you not to inscribe these words with metaphors, and do not etch them on papers or on the sand at the sea coast. Instead, scribble them on rocks, for I will always love to have my story undefiled.